Let's go through LeetCode 1405, longest happy string. For this question, it gives us integer array, integer A and integer B and integer C. It says that a string is called happy if S is only consists of the letter ABC and it does not contain any consecutive AAA. The three A's, three B's, or three C's as a substring. And S contains at most A occurrence of letter A, and S contains at most B occurrence of letter B, and at most C occurrence of letter C. So let's return the longest possible happy string. You see that because this is not unique, any we can return any substring which has the longest length. If no such string, return the empty string. We know, actually, for this question, I didn't see any case that there is no such string because A plus B plus C is greater to 0. What we're thinking about is that we want to have the character the char which appears most frequent to use it as much as we can, right? So for example, if the C appears 10 times and if B appears for example 4 times, A appears 2 times, so what we want, of course the C we want to use as many as we can, right? So for example B, we can have B, 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 and or B or A, something like those kind of result, right? So we need to design algorithm that we every time we try to append to our stream builder is that the one with the largest frequency. So for example, if it is B, C appears 10 times, right? So we put C here, right? And then we have B as 4, C as 2, A as 2, right? And then we trying to place that after we use that, still C, that is the highest frequency append C, right? And now C is still highest frequency, but because it does not cannot use a consecutive C, right? So we can have to use a second largest one, for example, B, right? So if we use the second one, the next one we will pull out is that C has A times, right? C has A times, and we check the previous one is not a CC, right? So we can use C again, and it changes to 7, and now we put the largest is 7, right? Is still C, and it changed to 6. And if we still put the largest one, that is still C, but we have consecutive Cs, so we can have to use B, right? Now, if we use again, that is 2, right? So we do this kind of simulations. That is, we always pull out from our get the largest frequency one. But before we append to our stream builder, we need to check whether this is whether there is consecutive largest in the previous round, right? If we already append twice, we can only append the second largest one. And in this case, we can compose the longest string. So if we want to efficiently get the most frequent character, we can use priority queue, right? And only when those kind of frequencies greater than greater than 1, we are enqueue that, right? And for this priority queue, we can put, for example, int array, right? For example, the array 0 is represent ABC. Array 1, possibly array 0 can use to be index 0 can be count, right? And index 1 can be A, B, C, right? A can be 0, B can be 1, and then C can be 2, right? And the priority queue should be in reverse order for the array's first element, right? And for this kind of array, actually, if we don't want to put array, right, we can also put the frequency multiplied by 100 plus, for example, A is 0, right? Or B is 1, C is 2, right? So let's write a code for this. Um, we know, so we need a priority queue. So for the priority queue, let's use the integer. Okay, we call max heap equals new priority queue. We can have a collections reverse order, right? And so we'll say if A is greater than 0, just max heap offer, for example, the frequency A multiplied by 100 and plus 0, right? And let's say if B is greater than 0, then we're going to have max if offer B multiplied by 100 plus 1, right? And if C is greater than 0, we are going to have max heap offer C multiplied by 100 plus 2, right? So we need a stream builder. Close new stream builder. Right. So let's say while this kind of max heap is not empty, and we are going to have int v1 equals max heap port, right? So we know for this character, how can we get the character from this number? This number, the one which is greater than 100 is the frequency, right? And the one which is the smaller than 100 is the character. So that is we C1 equals V1 mod 100, right? And we should have convert to char and also a plus this. So let's get the stream builder's length. And what we do is that if this kind of length is greater equal to 2, and stream builder dot chart length minus 1 equals C1, and stream builder dot chart L minus 2 is also equals to C1, right? In this case, we need trying to see that the second largest number, right? But the thing is, before we check the second one, our while loop is just checking whether this kind of max heap is empty, but it's still possible the second one doesn't have, right? Just have the maximal frequency. So if the after we pour the most frequent one, we will say if this one is empty already, we need to break, right? Otherwise, we're going to have chart C2 equals let's say V2, right? V2 equals max heap dot pour. And we have C2 equals char and A plus V2 mod 100. So we'll say we want to append string builder append C2. If we append, we use one count from the V2, right? So V2 should minus equal to 100. So that count is multiplied by 100, right? And we should say if V2 is still greater than equal to 100, right? Greater equal because we use A that is 0, right? So we use greater than equal. That means still have counts. Then we're going to have max heap offer V2, right? And we still need to have a max heap offer V1. Right? Um, else that means we can append the most frequent one, the C1, right? So that is we just have string builder append C1, and we have V1 minus equal to 100. So we'll say if V1 is greater equal to 100, then we're going to have a max heap offer V1, right? And then in the end, we just return string builder dot toString. This is int. This is char. Doing like this, the time complexity will be if A plus B plus C, there are N, right? So that means every time we just need to pull, we need to enqueue A plus, the worst case that is we need to enqueue A plus B plus C times. And in the max heap, it always have only 3 elements at the most, right? So the time complexity will be n log 3, right? Space will be linear ON. And we can also have a Python code. Python code should be similar. We need a string builder max heap this, right? And what we do is that we need if A is greater than 0, then we should have we can have this one as a heap Q heap push. So we can also put that as array, right? If we don't multiple by 100, so that is also doable. Let's put that as an array, right? There, and I mean tuple. This is tuple, right? Just if B is greater than 0, then we can also put that use this one multiply by 100 and plus 0 plus 1 plus 2, right? Keep Q, keep push, max heap, and maybe this is 1, right? So let's say if C is greater than 0, heap Q, heap push, max heap, minus C and 2, right? So what we do is that while this max heap is not empty, and we're going to have a V1 index 1 equals heap Q the heap hop max heap. Then we'll say C1 equals CHR. We'll need to have ORD A plus index 1, right? And then we are going to have this one has length of distributed. So let's say if this is greater equal to 2, right? And let's be the last one is equals to C1, and the SB is the previous previous one, right? Is equals to C1. Then we're going to have we need to get the second largest one, but it is possible that max heap is empty, right? If not max heap. So if it is empty, just a break. And otherwise, we're going to have V2 index 2 equals heap Q dot heap pop max heap. And we're going to have C2 equals CHR ORD A plus index 2. So we're going to have stream builder append C2, right? And so we are going to have because we in order to get this one as a max heap, we set that as a negative number. So decrease the counts is the way to actually is plus equal to 1, right? So if V2 is still smaller than 0, we are going to heap Q dot heap push this kind of max heap V2 index 2, right? And we always heap push heap Q dot heap push max heap the V1 index 1. So this is a consecutive one, right? We have to put the next second highest frequency character. Else, we're going to have a stream builder append C1 and V1, which will decrease the count. And if V1 is smaller than 0, we're going to heap Q dot heap push max heap V1 index 1, right? And in the end, we need to return this one to join stream builder, right? T1.